Tonight's procedure, this is a public hearing. It is televised live on local cable, streamed online through Facebook and YouTube, and is being recorded to be posted on the city's website. We ask proper decorum, civility, and respect for others at all times. Prior to this meeting, notice was sent to adjacent property owners, and the public has been notified of the applications to be presented tonight. This hearing is a chance for the applicant to present his or her case, for the public to make their views known about the application, and for commission members to gather relevant facts about the application before making its decision. City staff will introduce the application. The applicant will then have a chance to make any comments. The commissioners will then have an opportunity to ask the applicant questions about the case. I will then open the hearing for public comment. At the close of public comment, the commission will discuss the matter and vote on the application. Any person wishing to speak on behalf of another person, group, or entity shall provide written authorization to the chairperson from that person, group, or entity being represented. Immediate family members, defined as a spouse, parent, or child, do not have to provide such written authorization when speaking on behalf of another immediate family member. And we ask that you please leave the signs in your yard. Staff will be out in the next couple of days to pick them up. Now, moving on. As the Historic Preservation Commission has received a synopsis of the April, May, June, July, August, and September meetings, I move that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the same unless there are any deletions, additions, or corrections. Do I have a motion to approve said synopses?
Second.
Do I have?
Second.
Thank you. And we shall vote beginning on my left, please, Dr. Davis. Dr. Davis?
Sorry, yes.
Mr. Yarbrough?
Yes.
Mr. Deason?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Thank you very much. The commission members have had a chance to review tonight's agenda items. Do any of the members have a conflict of interest as defined by Section 6 of the commission bylaws with any of these items?
Yes.
And Ms. Young, which?
HPC 6324.
Thank you very much. I would like to ask the staff if proper notification has been provided for each of the agenda items.
Yes, it has.
Thank you very much. Well, let's move on to our first case this evening.
All right, Commission, starting off tonight, we're straight into our cases to be heard. Our first one tonight is HPC 5924, JPM Family Investments, LLC, petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of an addition to the primary structure. This is on the property located at 1304 Riverside Drive in the Caplewood Historic District, Council District 4. Here's a photo of the property from above and where it's situated in that historic district. Here's an image of the subject property, the adjacent property to the west, to the east, and to the south. Getting into the proposal, the petitioner is asking to construct a rear addition to the western A-frame structure. The addition is going to extend 12 feet into the rear yard. Materials include fiberglass window, asphalt shingle roof, and stucco to match the existing texture. On the front facade, the petitioner also proposes to repair the false door with a new pattern. This will be using rough sawn cedar to match the existing, and there will also be a window replaced on the front with a fiberglass window. Here again is the primary structure, and tonight we'll be looking at this western A-frame structure here. That's where the proposed changes are located. Here is that structure from the back. So again, looking at this western structure here. Looking at the site plan, you can see in the red box, they're extending that structure 12 feet towards the rear of the yard. Here's some elevation showing, looking at it from the rear yard, that window will be the same size and light pattern as previous. The existing window AC unit here, that will be removed. Looking at a side elevation here, you can just see extending towards the rear yard. On the front facade of that western A-frame structure, the petitioner would like to propose that new design change shown on the right, using that wood material, as well as replacing that window with the same size and light pattern. For the materials, both on the front and back facade, fiberglass windows, same size and light pattern. The windows are wood today. They'd like to use asphalt shingle roof to continue to match the main structure, use stucco to match the existing structure, and again, cedar for that fall store repair. Here are our material specs for that asphalt roof. Here's an example of that roof in University Circle. Here are our applicable design guidelines for additions. Continuing on, moving into standards for rehab and alteration. Windows, window materials, roofs, roof materials. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Any questions, folks? Thank you very much. Let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative to step up to the podium, please. And if you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Hey, Bryce McGifford on behalf of JPM Family Investments. My address is 2505 Montebello Road, Mountain Brook, Alabama.
Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like the commission to know about your project?
No, ma'am. We bought this house from the Weavers a few weeks ago, so it'll look a little better on the backside once we fully take it over. But it's probably my favorite historic house in Tuscaloosa. I think it's one of the coolest ones.
It's really unusual and rather striking, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Do the commission members have any questions for Mr. McGifford?
The one on the front side?
Not following directions.
That one right there?
The one on the back, above the air conditioning at the higher point.
So it is an old air conditioner that used to be there, and it looks like it was just cut from the backside. To our knowledge, is kind of how it is, and the shape of the trim is like it was kind of thrown together.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you, Mr. McGifford.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to this application? All right, hearing none, I'll close the floor to public comment and open the floor to discussion by commission members.
This is a really unique and cool property, as we've mentioned, and it's been sad to drive past it over the last few years and kind of see it in such disrepair. So I'm cautiously optimistic that it's going to really kind of come back to life.
Any other comments? All right, hearing none, we have a standing motion to approve HPC 5924, JPM Family Investments LLC petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of an addition to the primary structure on the property located at 1304 Riverside Drive in the Caplewood Historic District, Council District 4. We shall vote beginning on my right. Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Deason? Mr. Yarborough?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes,
Thank you. Mr. McGifford, your application has been approved this evening. Should anything change, please see city staff before you move forward. Good luck with the project. And let the record show that Dr. Nelson has arrived and is attending the hearing.
All right, next up is HPC 6024, JPM Family Investments LLC, petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of an addition to the primary structure. This is on the property located at 1415 Caplewood Drive in the Caplewood Historic District, Council District 4. Here is a photo of the property from above and where it's situated in its historic district. Here is a photo of the subject property, the adjacent property to the north, to the west, and to the east. For the proposal, the petitioner is asking to construct an addition to the rear of the primary structure. Part of this will also be constructing a concrete porch on the rear. The materials include a metal porch roof, asphalt shingles, hardy siding, fiberglass French doors, and hardy frame columns. The existing aluminum-clad windows will be reused. Here again is the subject property. Here is that rear of the property, just from two different angles where that addition will be located. Here is also an existing garage storage structure on the property. Here's the site plan, the addition highlighted in red. Zooming in on it a little more, you can see extending about 5.5 feet on the left, 4 feet on the right, and adding that porch in. Getting into the elevations here, on that rear elevation, you can see some changes circled rather in the red boxes. You can see going to one window here from two previously, as well as adding a metal roof here, new doors, columns, and that porch to the rear of the structure. Here's the east side elevation. You can see just extending. And again, on the west side elevation, just extending towards the rear. For the materials, again, a concrete porch. The aluminum-clad windows that exist today will be reused. There'll be a metal porch roof. Any additional roofing will be asphalt shingles to match the existing. There'll be hardy siding to match the existing wood siding on the primary structure. There'll be new fiberglass French doors and 8-inch hardy frame columns. Here are our material specs on that proposed siding and trim and the metal roof, the fiberglass door. Getting into our applicable design guidelines here for additions. Standards for rehab and alteration. Decks, porches, and railings. Windows, window materials, roofs, roof materials. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Any questions? Thank you very much. Let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative to step forward, please, and we'll need your name and address again, please.
Yeah, no problem. Bryce McGifford, 2505 Montebello Road, Mountain Brook, Alabama.
Is there anything else you'd like us to know about your application?
No, it's just basically a rear addition to add a little to a bedroom. The door is kind of in a weird place on the right side, and then the right little room will be a laundry room. So,
Are there any questions for the applicant? Thank you very much.
thank you.
Let me open the floor to public comment. Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to the application? Then let me close the floor to public comment and open the floor to discussion by commission members. Again, a fairly straightforward application here. Any questions, concerns? It appears that we have a standing motion to approve. HPC 6024, JPM Family Investments LLC, petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of an addition to the primary structure on the property located at 1415 Caplewood Drive in the Caplewood Historic District, Council District 4. We shall vote. Beginning on my left, Dr. Nelson.
Yes.
Dr. Davis.
Yes.
Dr. Yarbrough.
Yes.
Mr. Deason.
Yes.
Ms. Young.
Yes.
And me, yes. I think I missed myself the last time. Mr. McGifford, your application has been approved. Good luck with your project. Should anything change, please see city staff before you move on with it, and good luck.
Next up tonight, HPC 6124, JPM Family Investments LLC petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of a fence on the property located at 1400 Caplewood Drive. in the Caplewood Historic District, Council District 4. Here is the photo of the property from above, as well as where it's situated in that historic district. Here's a photo of the primary structure on the property, the adjacent property to the west, to the south, and to the east. For the proposal, the petitioner is asking to construct a new 6-foot-tall, pressure-treated pine privacy fence with the finished side facing out. This fence will be located along Reed Street and the rear property line. The applicant states that there are existing fence posts on the property from a previous fence. Here again is the primary structure. Here is some photos looking down from Reed Street towards the rear yard and taken from back by the rear property line looking up towards the primary structure. Here's the site plan showing where that proposed fence will be located. It'll be about 7.5 to 8 feet from the Reed Street side of the property, and then beginning about 42 feet from the front property line. Scope of work, just showing it's a 6-foot-tall wood privacy fence. There'll be a gate, and there will be pressure-treated pine as the material. Here's an example of the proposed finish of the fence. The material, again, is pressure-treated pine. And here are our applicable design guidelines for fences and walls, and materials for fences and walls. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Would you be able to go back to one of the photos of the property and just draw a line on where that fence is going to be?
So the petitioner can also come up here and clarify.
Sure.
My understanding is about,
That's great, thank you. Appreciate that. And we'll leave this slide up. Any other questions for staff? Thank you, Ms. Coyne. Let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative step forward, please. And again, we'll need name and
Yeah, no
address.
problem. Bryce McGifford, 2505 Montevallo Road, Mountain Brook, Alabama.
Yeah, so if you just want to give us a little
Yeah.
bit of a visual on where that fence is going to be, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
so on the top part, it's going to go right on the other side of the big tree, and it'll go all the way down to the end of the property line. That's where the old train tracks are on the back side of this property. So it'll run, like that's an old little garage. That's you can still see the existing foundation for it. And one of the other pictures, you can see the old wooden fence posts. But, this is one of those, pretty much almost, I feel like every house in Caplewood now is a college rental. But we just like to have fences in a college rental just to kind of keep them a little cleaner. It just helps a little bit. And see, there's one post, and there's another one on the back side. And so we're going to clean this out. It has some deferred maintenance as well, but the rest of that can be approved through expedited.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. McGifford? We have no questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to this application? Then let me close the floor to public comment and open up the floor to discussion by commission members. Any concerns? Hearing none. We have a standing motion to approve HPC 6124, JPM Family Investments LLC petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of a fence on the property located at 1400 Caplewood Drive in the Caplewood Historic District, Council District 4. And we shall vote, beginning on my right. Ms. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Deason.
Yes.
Dr. Yarbrough.
Yes.
Dr. Davis.
Yes?
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Mr. McGifford, your application has been approved. And again, should anything change, please let city staff know, and good luck with the project.
next up is HPC 6224, Price McGifford Jr. petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of addition to the primary structure on the property located at 403 19th Avenue, Unit E. This is the Druid City Historic District, Council District 1. Here is a photo of the property from above and where it's situated in that historic district. Here's a photo of the subject property, its neighbor to the west, to the north, and to the south. For the proposal, the petitioner would like to construct an addition to Unit E. This will be done by enclosing an existing interior balcony. Materials include stucco, aluminum-clad window, fiberglass or hardy trim columns, and metal parapet flashing. Here again is the primary structure. This is a unique property and situation. So the interior balcony you can see in the red box here. It's located on the interior of the condominiums. Here are some photos showing that. So this is what they would like to enclose to create that addition. Here is an elevation showing that proposed addition to the condo. Again, for the materials, it'll be stucco to match existing, an aluminum-clad window with light pattern to match the existing, fiberglass or hardy trim columns, and metal parapet flashing. For our applicable design guidelines, we have additions, standards for rehab and alteration, windows, window materials. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Are there any questions? It's a little unusual. Thank you so much, Ms. Coyne. Let me invite Mr. McGiffert to step forward again and state your name and address,
Bryce
please.
McGifford, 2505 Montevale Road, Mountain Brook, Alabama. Quick synopsis of this project. It's a porch that we're really not sure how long it's been there. It looks like it's been rebuilt twice when we first looked at it. More or less just would like to close in. It's an interior mechanical courtyard. It's kind of an interesting setup, to say the least, but it'll actually look better, I think, than it does now. Will look more like now. It looks like a true addition. I don't know if you really, once it's done, how easy it would be to tell that it is an addition compared to what it looks like now.
This drawing doesn't show the window on the first floor. That window on the first
Window
floor
will
belongs to
stay.
that condo?
So the window is a different unit.
Yes.
And so.
Are there any questions for Mr. McGiffert? All right, well, thank you
No
again.
problem. Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to the application? Then let me close the floor to public comment, open the floor to discussion by commission members. Unusual, tucked really inside the configuration of the condo building. Hearing no discussion, we have a standing motion to approve HPC 6224, Price McGiffert Jr. petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of an addition to the primary structure on the property located at 403 19th Avenue, Unit E, in the Druid City Historic District, Council District 1. Voting, Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Dr. Yarbrough?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Deason?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. McGiffert, your application has been approved. Should anything change, again, please see city staff. There will be a final inspection. And good luck with the project. Thank you. And let the record show that Ms. Young is recusing herself from the hearing at this time.
Alrighty, next up, we have HPC 6324, J. Young petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for exterior alterations to the primary structure on the property located at 1611 Alaka Place in the Druid City Historic District, Council District 4. Here's an image of the property from above and where it's situated within that historic district. Here's a photo of the primary structure. It's adjacent property to the west, to the east, and to the north. For the proposal, the petitioner would like to remove and replace 2 windows with cedar siding. This is at the rear of the primary structure. The material today on the home is cedar siding, and it's going to match in color and material. This is for additional storage on the interior of the primary structure. Here again is the primary structure. Here is that first window to be removed. You can see just from 2 different angles. And the second window to be removed is under this kind of covered porch patio area. The material, again, is painted cedar siding to match existing material in color. Oops. Here are our applicable design guidelines for standards for rehab and alteration, and our design guidelines for windows and window materials. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Any questions? None at this time. Thank you so much. Let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative step forward, please. And we'll need your name and address for the record, if you don't mind.
Hey, I'm Jay Young, 6425 Glen Cove Place.
So, Mr. Young, is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your application?
New homeowners just need more pantry storage, and we're going to make them pantry if y'all approve it.
Do the commission members have any questions for Mr. Young?
I take it that the alterations are to the addition? I mean, any idea when the addition was put on?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I mean, it's the 10 years.
Sorry?
10 years would be a wild guess.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other questions for Mr. Young? Thank you so much. Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to the application? Then I'll close the floor to public comment and open the floor to discussion by commission members. Any concerns? Any thoughts?
Well, I understand why they want to remove them, particularly since the one that opens onto the porch, presumably from the kitchen, is non-functional and is a recent addition anyway.
Agreed. Hearing no further discussion, we have a standing motion to approve HPC 6324 J. Young petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for exterior alterations to the primary structure on the property located at 1611 Alaka Place in the Druid City Historic District, Council District 4. We shall vote beginning on my right. Mr. Deason?
Yes.
Yes. Dr. Yarborough?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes?
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Young, your application has been approved. Should anything change, please see city staff before you move forward. There will be a final inspection, and good luck with the project.
Next up is HPC 6424. Daryl Knox petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of a driveway. This is on the properties located at 904 and 908 16th Avenue in the Druid City Historic District, Council District 4. Here is a aerial view of both of those properties, as well as where they are situated in that historic district. Here is first 904 16th Avenue and our second subject property, 908 16th Avenue. Here is our adjacent property to the south, to the north, and to the east. For the proposal, the petitioner would like to construct a new 18-foot wide driveway between 904 and 908 16th Avenue. Today, the driveway is unpaved. The proposed material for this is concrete. Here again is 904 16th Avenue and 908 16th Avenue. Here is that driveway area in between those two properties, and another view just a little farther out. Here is also a neighboring property with a wider driveway that the petitioner submitted along with their application. Here is the site plan for this project. You can see having that 12-foot wide opening that exists today for that curb cut, and then expanding to that 18 feet wide. This patio, this has already been approved by staff via expedited review. The dashed line marks a step up into that patio area. Again, the material for this is concrete. Here are our applicable design guidelines for parking. more for parking, parking materials, and driveways. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Can we back up to the photo that showed the existing drive?
Yep.
Is the expedited review patio in this photo?
No, so we've been working with the petitioner. They came in, the patio will be part of this. Should the driveway be approved, it would be poured together.
Thanks for the clarification on that. It's a good question. Any other questions for city staff?
I have a question. I assume, but I didn't see in the packet materials, that the paving of the driveway and the patio wouldn't take up something that would go against the 35% rear yard requirement?
Yeah, so this wouldn't even reach into that rear yard for that requirement to come into effect.
Thank you. I don't think we have any further questions. Let me invite the applicant's representative to come up, please, and we'll need your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Daryl Knox, 611 Camille Lane, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us, Mr. Knox?
No, ma'am, I think Ms. Leona covered it all. You got any questions for me?
Do we have any questions for Mr. Knox? It appears we have none, so thank you so much. You may have a seat.
Thank you. My knees were shaking like a 57 Plymouth. So I'm good. I'm nervous.
And let me open the floor to public comment. Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to this application? Then let me close the floor to public comment and open the floor to, oh, I'm sorry.
Hi, Kelly Pitts, 19 Audubon Place. I am concerned about the drawing reflecting the widening of the driveway well before the front of the house, which I would think would maybe become front yard parking essentially, because there is a restriction in the historic districts about not being able to park, you know, in front of the house. So I don't know if that applies to this or not, but I just wanted to bring that up as a consideration for this, for y'all to determine. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else to speak to this application? All right, I'll close the floor to public comment and open the floor to discussion by commission members.
Can we see
Here.
the drawing again? So the entrance is off-center, is that correct? And then it widens to one side? Am I saying that correct?
Yep, so the current curb cut, it's what exists today, that 12 feet, that's not changing from what exists today, so that's going to remain the same. It is going to be slightly larger towards 904 is where it starts to split off.
Are there specifications for driveways as far as dimensional of any type?
So the driveway has been reviewed, and Mr. Knox has been working with the Office of City Engineers. They did not have any concerns regarding the driveway or the curb cut.
The dimensions, they were okay?
Yes.
My question is the same owner own both houses? Could he come up and answer that?
Mr. Knox, would you mind coming back up? Thank you.
My question is, do you own the houses?
No, sir.
Okay. Does the same owner own both houses?
Yes, sir, he does.
What happens if he sells them?
We're in the process of what we call a perpetual mutual agreement. I've already discussed that with Ms. Leona. We're going to be submitting that to the probate court. So in the event he does sell that, there will be no dispute about who owns the driveway, 904 and 908.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. That was a good question. Appreciate it, Mr. Knox. Thanks. Any further questions?
They showed an earlier picture of the driveway adjacent, and I know that picture's old because the Ivy Apartments are currently painted, and it looks like the house on the right's been renovated. But can we look at the cut at the, here? That's an old picture. Is it, that, those apartments have been painted for a couple of years now?
Probably.
Yeah, 2020, and to the right, that house, I mean, so is that driveway now, do you know the dimensions of this driveway? And is it currently the same as it's shown in 2020?
I do not know the dimensions of this driveway. The petitioner may know. They were just providing this as an example of another driveway nearby to their project.
Oh, so they supplied this photo from 2020.
That's correct. It was submitted in the COA application.
It's just not current.
Any other questions? Any discussion? All right. Thank you, everyone. We have a motion to approve HBC 6424, Darrell Knox petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of a driveway on the properties located at 904 16th Avenue and 908 16th Avenue in the Druid City Historic District, Council District 4. We shall begin on my right with Ms. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Deason?
Yes.
Yes. Dr.
Yes.
Navarro? Dr. Davis?
Yes,
And Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Knox, the application has been approved. Should anything change, please see city staff before you move forward. There will be a final inspection. Good luck with your project.
Next up, we have HPC 6524. Tricia Stone petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for a material change to the roof on the primary structure. This is on the property located at 14 Audubon Place in the Audubon Place Historic District, Council District 4. Here is a photo of the property from above and where it's situated in that historic district. Here is a photo of the subject property, the adjacent property to the south, to the north, and to the east. For the proposal, the petitioner would like to remove and replace the existing asbestos and cedar shingle roof with a GAF architectural shingle. They'll also repair the soffits, fascia, and decking as needed to address rot. This will be like for like in dimension as well as with a wood material to match the existing. Here again is the primary structure. Here are some photos the applicant submitted showing some of the damage to the structure and roof. Here are some additional photos showing that, as well as just another angle showing the roof today. Another photo that the applicant submitted, there'll also be a little interior work to that roof. Here's some photos the applicant submitted showing similar roofs, roofing material in the neighboring properties. For the material, again, is an architectural shingle and then wood for the soffit, fascia, and decking repair. Here are those material specs for the shingle. And here are our applicable design guidelines for roofs, roofing materials, standards for rehab and alteration. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Could we see the photo of the attic again? Thank you. Are there any other questions for city staff? Thank you, Ms. Coyne. Let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative to step forward, please. Excuse me. If you could state your name and address for the record, we'd appreciate it. Thank
Tricia
you.
Stone, 20 Pinehurst Drive.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your application?
No, we just have to have the roof. I'm representing the buyer of this house, and they have to have the roof replaced 30 days after closing, so we're just trying to get ahead of everything.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Stone? Thank you so much. Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to this application? All right. Hearing none, I will close the floor to public comment. Open the floor to discussion by by the commission members, please. Hearing nothing, we have a standing motion to approve HPC 6524, Tricia Stone petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for a material change to the roof on the primary structure on the property located at 14 Audubon Place in the Audubon Place Historic District, Council District 4. And we shall vote. Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes?
Dr. Yarbrough?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Deason?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Stone, your application has been approved this evening. Should anything change, please see city staff. There will be a final inspection, and good luck with the project.
Next up is HPC 6624, Kelly Fitz petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the demolition of a garage, the removal of a fence and wall, the construction of a rear yard deck, and for exterior alterations to the primary structure. This is on the property located at 625 Queen City Avenue in the Druid City Historic District, Council District 4. Here's a photo of the property from above, as well as where it's situated in the Druid City Historic District. Here's an image of the subject property. Its neighbor to the north, to the south. For the proposal, the petitioner has several pieces, so it's broken down into site work as well as the different elevations. So starting with site work, they'll remove a low front wall at the sidewalk, removing a chain link fence and chain link gate, demoing an existing garage, and resurfacing the driveway with concrete or brick paver strips. On the front elevation of the primary structure, the petitioner is asking to remove and replace the single porch posts with new historically accurate double posts. Moving on to the rear elevation, there'll be removal of some concrete stairs to be replaced with a wood deck, removing an entrance door, relocating 3 windows, replacing a door, adding a copper awning, and removing 1 window to add 2 new windows. On the south elevation, 1 window will be removed to be replaced with 2 windows. And on the north elevation, some more steps to be removed, entrance to be removed, windows to be relocated, new windows on the main store, French doors, a deck, and an awning. And that was a mouthful, so we will look at some elevations that will hopefully make it a little more clear. So starting again with the primary structure. Here's from the 7th Street side, just looking down at the side of the property. You can see on the right side, that is the garage to be demoed. Looking at the site plan, so you can see fence and walls to come down here, a gate to be removed here, steps to be removed, and that garage to be removed. On the proposed, you can see really the main additions adding that new deck as well as that new driveway. Moving to the front facade, you can see the main change here is removing the single post that exists today to be replaced with these new historically accurate double posts. The petitioner did submit a historic photo of the home that shows those historic posts that they are proposing to reintroduce here. And here's just a photo today, kind of from the same angle, showing how much has changed since that original photo. Here's that detail on those proposed posts. Moving to the north side, you can see in the boxes kind of the proposed changes, and on the left, the X's marking what is to be removed. So you can see new door, new windows, and new window locations here. Moving to the south side, you can see 1 window to be removed and 2 new windows to be added. Moving to the rear east elevation, you see a lot more change here, so several windows and doors being removed, on the previous elevation, and in the proposed, we have new windows, new window locations, a copper awning, a new door, and that new proposed deck. And lastly, the driveway today is unpaved. On the right is an example the petitioner submitted of what the proposed driveway may look like. For the materials here, for those double posts on the porch, they'll be fiberglass or wood with painted wood trim. They're going to try to use the existing windows as much as possible, but any new windows will be Pella or Sierra Pacific to match the existing style as close as possible. The rear door, side lights, and new French doors are that same Pella or Sierra Pacific. The handrails are going to be black wrought iron post and rail or vertical iron pickets with wood posts for the railing. The deck will be wood or Trex. That roof over the rear entrance will be copper on wrought iron brackets. Any additional new roofing material will be asphalt shingle, and that driveway will be brick pavers or concrete strips with grass in between. Here are the material specs for those proposed doors and windows. Here are our standards for rehab and alteration. Roofs, roofing materials, windows, window materials, driveways, decks, more with decks, fences and walls, materials for fences and walls, and detached garages and carports. We did not receive any public comment regarding this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Can we go back to the front, a photo of the front facade? I just want to see that brick wall that's to be removed. Okay. Just wanted to see that. And the question too, the material for those Pella or those Sierra Pacific windows are, is it wood?
The petitioner can
Okay.
confirm the exact material.
Are there any other questions for city staff? Thank you so much. Well, let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative to step forward. And if we could
Hi.
have
Kelly.
both, so
I'm Kelly Fitz, 19
Yes,
Audubon Place.
thank you.
These are the owners.
Well,
Kurt,
welcome.
Alexander. And you want to say where you live and your interest in the house maybe, or?
Let's do it into the record, because this is just such an awesome project.
Oh, no, that's fine. Kurt and Allison Alexander, we live at 760 Burning Tree Drive, Marietta, Georgia. We purchased the house in June of this year with the intent of obviously restoring it to its original condition. Kelly has agreed to help us out with that. And, you know, again, our request basically mimics, you know, our desire to make the changes to the house that's shown.
Thank you so much.
We have a long history in Tuscaloosa. My dad was born and bred here, and all our family, and we went to school here. Our kids went to school here. We have family all over the area and a farm in Utah, Alabama. Family farm that's been our family for over 100 years. So it's kind of a love project, but for us to be able to, as we retire, spend more time here with family. So we're so excited.
It's nice to see this house getting the TLC that it deserves.
It's got great bones.
So thank you for being here.
They'll ask me some questions. You've
So-
got questions?
I just had a couple of, like, I wanted to see that brick wall, but I noticed that it's not in the historic photo, which is kind of interesting. And then I just wanted to just confirm with you that those windows, because I saw the spec sheets, but they're wood windows, the Pella or the Sierra Pacific are wood. Thank you.
So let me speak to that little brick wall. It's 4 inches thick. It's apt to fall over any second. And in fact, you know, you could probably just run up and kick it and it would fall over. So it's really not much of a wall.
Well, and given that it wasn't in that historic photo either, it doesn't seem like there's much to discuss with that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about this? A lot going on.
There is. Just the windows and door placements, some of them are to work with most of them are to work with the interior, but I think some of them are to balance out the exterior. I think the balance has, over time, I think the balance has gotten kind of out of whack on some of this, but most of it's just, to me, a great improvement for the appearance of the house.
Are there any questions from the commission members? It's a nicely put together packet, so I want to thank you and I want to thank city staff for being able to make this really easily digestible and to see everything very, very clearly. We really appreciate it. It really helps us understand what's happening here. Well, thank you, Ms. Fitz.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to this application? Hearing none, I will close the floor to public comment and open the floor to comments, discussion by commission members.
I walk by that house several times a week, and I'm excited. I really am excited to see somebody fall in love with it. Good luck.
Yeah, well, we understand that there's certain temporary accessory structures on properties when there are renovations being done, but I think we all look forward to having seeing this project to completion. It's such a great house on such a prominent street.
I would just add that although we don't take lightly the question of moving windows, removing windows, et cetera, it seems to me the way these are organized meets the essential criterion to respect the original design structure. I think it meets it head on.
I would agree with that, too. I think that it's very thoughtful, very well done. I think it enhances the property as well. Hearing no further comment from the commission members, we have a standing motion to approve. HPC 6624, Kelly Fitz petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the demolition of a garage, the removal of a fence and wall, the construction of a rear yard deck, and for the exterior alterations to the primary structure on the property located at 625 Queen City Avenue in the Druid City Historic District, Council District 4. Let us vote. Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Deason?
Yes.
I vote yes. Dr. Yarbrough?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes?
Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Ms. Fitz, your application has been approved. Good luck with the project. Should anything change, please see city staff. There will be a final inspection, but good luck with this. It's a great, great project.
Next up is HPC 6724, Mr. and Mrs. William Griffith petition for a certificate of appropriateness for the removal and replacement of a fence. This is on the property located at 20 Audubon Place in both the Audubon Place and Druid City Historic Districts, Council District 4. Here's a photo of the property from above, as well as where it's situated in both of those historic districts. Here is a photo of the primary structure on the property, the adjacent property to the north, to the east. For the proposal, the petitioner would like to construct a new privacy fence. It has several pieces. So one is the masonry piers. Those will be constructed of 8x16 concrete block and finished with stucco. The panel framework will be 6x6 wood posts and 2x4 and 2x6 wood framing. The finished material for that being 1x6 wood slats. All the wood will be finished with a solid body stain, and a gate is proposed for limited vehicle access only. The fence does vary in height due to topography of the site. In general, the masonry piers are 7 feet in height and the fence panels are 6 feet in height. Another piece of this proposal is the petitioner would like to add steps to cross an existing retaining wall on the property. The proposed steps are going to be 8 feet wide with 16-inch treads and a 6-inch rise for a total rise of 36 inches to cross that retaining wall. The material for this is flagstone with a wrought iron handrail. Here again is the primary structure. And moving into the site plan here, you can see those proposed steps that cross that retaining wall in the red box. And just for a little context today, this area does not have a fence on it today, while this area to the right, that is fenced today. In the future, the proposal is to fence this whole area, as you can see on this site plan. Here is just a photo taken from the 7th Street side of the property, showing where that fence is today, as well as where that unfenced portion begins. And the red box is a historic marker that exists today. Here's from that unfenced portion of the property. On the right, you can see looking towards the fenced portion of the property today where that retaining wall exists. Here's taken from inside the yard, just showing that the retaining wall is currently not visible through the fence. Here's some more details on the fence, just showing the distance from the curb, about 10 feet, as well as that historical marker location on the right. Here are some elevations showing that proposed fence. You can see that variation in height due to the topography of the site, as well as the location of the historical marker in that dark brown and the existing garage. Here's that west elevation showing the proposed fence. Here's just some more detail up close showing those masonry piers as well as those fence panels that are proposed. Again, the material for this, the masonry piers, will be that concrete block finished with stucco, those 6x6 wood posts, wood framing, wood slats, and that wood finish with a solid body stain. Here's some additional photos the applicant submitted of other historical markers in the area, as well as the existing texture on the 20 Audubon Place primary structure to be used to match on the proposed masonry piers for the fence. For our applicable design guidelines, we have fences and walls, materials, standards for rehab and alteration. We did not receive any public comment on this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Did you mention that there is to be a gate for limited vehicle traffic?
Yes, let's see if I should be in one of these elevations here. So you can see that gate. That's on the 7th Street side of the property.
Thank you. Any other questions for staff? Thank you, Ms. Coyne. Let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative step forward, please. And if we could have you state your names and address for the record.
Sure. Bill and Sonia Griffith, 20 Audubon Place, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Is there anything else you'd like us to know about your application?
I think it really is just to clarify a bit. We are intending to remove part of, an existing privacy fence and replace with, I'd say, an upgraded privacy fence, as well as remove a chain link fence that runs down the length of that 7th Street side, or the south side of the property. Replace it with the same type of upgraded fence. We did want to do a little bit of, mimic of the existing historic marker by keeping with the shape and structure of that. However, we won't be trying to replicate it. We'll go with the exterior of it be covered similar to our home, which is in the white stucco. I think that's the biggest part. There was a question about the gate and limited vehicle access. That's not to be used as any type of parking or anything like that. It's basically to get any type of yard equipment in and out so that the property can be maintained on that side.
Thank you for clarifying that. I think it's nice that you're making reference to the historical marker with your fence. Do we have any other questions for the applicants? Well, no other questions right now. Thank you so much. Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to the application? Then let me close the floor to public comment and open the floor to discussion by commission members. Hearing no discussion, we have a motion to approve HPC 6724, Mr. and Mrs. William Griffith, petition for a certificate of appropriateness for the removal and replacement of a fence on the property located at 20 Audubon Place in the Audubon Place and Druid City Historic Districts, Council District 4. We shall vote, beginning on my left. Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Dr. Yarbrough?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr. Deason?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. and Ms. Griffith, your application has been approved tonight. Should anything change, see city staff. There will be a final inspection, and good luck with the project.
All right, last one tonight. We have HPC 6824 T-Town Ventures LLC petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of an addition to the primary structure, as well as to widen the existing driveway on the property located at 2 Sherwood Drive in the Sherwood Drive Historic District, Council District 4. Here is a photo of the property from above, as well as where it's situated in that historic district. Here is a photo of the subject property, the adjacent property to the east, to the south, and to the north. For the proposal, it's 2 parts. The first is to construct a 2-story addition to the primary structure. The addition will replace a carport that was destroyed by a tree. The purpose of the addition is for garage and loft space. The addition is about 31 feet, rounding up by 31 feet. The height is about 22 feet, measured at the midpoint of the roof. The overhang depth, gutter, and fascia will match the existing the primary structure. The materials for this include shingles to match the existing and brick to match the existing as close as possible. Second part of this proposal is to widen the driveway to 20 feet. The new portion of the driveway will be an aggregate material to match the existing driveway. Here again is that primary structure. And here looking down is where that carport was, where it was destroyed by a tree. Getting into the site plan here, on the top, the existing, and the bottom, the proposed. You can see in the red boxes the proposed addition, as well as that proposed driveway widening. Zooming in on that just for a little more detail, you can see the addition is 30 feet 9 inches on both sides, and the driveway widening to that 20 feet. Here's just an interior layout showing the garage and loft. Getting into the elevations here, for that proposed east elevation, you can see the addition is this piece. Moving to the west elevation down the side. The north elevation. And the south elevation. For the materials again, the shingles will match the existing, the brick will match the existing as close as possible, and an aggregate material will be used to match the existing driveway. For our applicable design guidelines, we have additions. Our standards for rehab and alteration. Roofs, roofing material, windows, window material, parking, parking material, driveways. We did not receive any public comment for this request. Do you have any questions for staff?
Do we know the current width of the driveway?
The petitioner can confirm the existing width of the driveway. They're trying to expand to that 20 feet.
Are there any other questions? Thank you so much. Let me invite the applicant or the applicant's representative to come up to the podium and state your name and address, please.
Good afternoon, Commission. My name is Nathan Gordeau. My address is 5615 Union Chapel Terrace.
What's the width of the driveway right now?
I believe the existing width is 15 feet.
Okay. Are there other questions? I don't think we have any other questions for you. Thank you so much.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Have a seat. Is there anyone here to speak in support of or opposition to this application? Then I'll close the floor to public comment and open the floor to discussion by commission members. It's a fairly straightforward application. Hearing no discussion.
No, but there's a really cool mantle in that house. It's from the Battle House the Battle Mansion on Greensboro Avenue that was demolished. It is beautiful.
What is?
A mantle in
A
this.
mantle, yeah. There's a mantelpiece in that house from the demolished William Battle House on Greensboro Avenue. It's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful.
I'm always amazed at the
I don't know.
details that you know about properties in this town.
If you want to get rid of it, let me know.
I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have a standing motion to approve HPC 6824 T-Town Ventures LLC petitions for a certificate of appropriateness for the construction of an addition to the primary structure and to widen the existing driveway on the property located at 2 Sherwood Drive in the Sherwood Drive Historic District, Council District 4. Let's vote. Begin on my right, please, Ms. Young.
Yes.
Mr. Jason?
Yes.
I vote yes. Dr. Yarborough?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
And Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Mr. Gerdo, your application has been approved this evening. Should anything change, see city staff. There will be a final inspection. Good luck with the project. You're welcome.
All right, Commission, since our last meeting, we've had 9 expedited reviews approved by staff. Tonight, we will also be looking at our 2025 meeting dates and deadlines and voting on those for approval.
Shall we do that right now? All right. So I'm assuming we have a standing motion to approve the dates, and so we will vote. Beginning on my left, Dr. Nelson?
Yes.
Dr. Davis?
Yes.
Dr. Yarborough?
Yes.
I vote yes. Mr.
Yes.
Jason? Ms. Young?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion has passed. And with no other business, we are adjourned for this